I've worked with prototypes before, and this is the first time I've come across the polystyrene setup. So I think, the idea of a prototype as for the people that are involved in the planning and that will be working in this environment.
This is the first time we've done a polystyrene model, and the reason being is that if the courtroom doesn't work, the court doesn't work.
Even though courts are built all the time, there is no perfect court. Surprising as it may seem, there's no absolute template that is the right answer.
Court Services Victoria is a new entity in Victoria, and this is their first project. So we have to get it right. And then secondly, it's a first multi-jurisdictional court in Victoria, and it's important that we listen to them and get their vision into the building. Certainly they have very clear views on what does and does not work, and any opportunity to get their views is a good one, so you take it.
This is the first time I've seen polystyrene courtroom like this, and it's been fantastic for us to be able to see it three-dimensionally and be able to see how things can work and maybe need adjustments. It's been very important, very helpful. For the public, we're able to see how they will work and interact with their courtroom. We have to be always conscious that it's our workplace, but it's the court's work for the community.
If something's already built and it needs to change because something wasn't apparent in a drawing, then that's going to cause delays, going to result in more cost. So I think this investment is a really good one.
Seeing it here has really advanced us on, and we've been able to make some suggestions that I think will ensure that it works from all parties, where the accused is, where the jury is, where the public will sit, how the judge will interact with the lawyers.
This is their work environment, so they've all had life experiences in other courts and trials, and to get the benefit of their experience into the design of a new building, it's worth its weight in gold.
Almost impossible for the untrained eye, if you like, to really work out the finer points of an interior from looking at plans. Few of us are trained to really know what plans say. So to see it in the flesh, so to speak, even if it's polystyrene flesh, is extremely useful.
When the client comes in, they're generally very impressed with the model, the process, the ability to make changes on the fly, and the turnaround speed more than anything else. It can be done in a couple of days. If you want changes done on the spot, we do them instantly. The impact's seen straight away. But what we're showing people is line of sight, space allocations, OH&S compliance, those sorts of things.
One of the concerns from the client was, particularly with the tip staff sitting here, who runs the court.
It's more than just a court. It's around public areas. It's around many areas that cater for various user groups. A lot of the work that we've done in terms of the design has been around, well, how might the users use the new court, and how can we make sure that those pathways for the users in terms of agencies, family rooms, even remote witness areas and the like. The key thing has always been the red brick court as part of the sort of the DNA of a country town. So for us, it's been very much around making sure that every stakeholder has seen it, they've sat in every location, they've understood the implication of the relative heights, they've understood the implications in terms of the screens and the technology, and these things are really apparent if you're sitting in a one-to-one model.
You want to be able to feel close to the judge, or reasonably close to the judge, but still have a comfortable separation. So in terms of the location of this, either moving forwards or back relative to the jury, is this about right, do we think? Yeah, it's much better than the current shed. I've only seen one mock-up of a court before, and this is far better than that one. I think it does give you a great sense of the different components and the way they sit in the space.
Engagement with stakeholders is really important in this type of project, and the opportunity for judges particularly to experience what it's like to walk into the courtroom before we've actually built it has been a great one for the project. Everyone can clearly engage very quickly with the project. The judges have been through a couple of times now. They've had some good feedback and some areas for improvement, and we've adjusted the model as it's designed to have been, and it's now achieved approval, so that's a tick.
This project is so important for Shepparton, for court services and the judiciary. The joy is actually seeing it built and seeing everybody happy with it. For me, that's because that's the impact that you have on so many people's lives, as both a workplace, for members of the public, and also for us as designers and architects.